So we're going to be introducing our Redzone Rodeo Buckle Winner Picks of the Week, where we're going to be going through the 4 games this upcoming weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to be giving you just a quick, brief analysis who we think has a stronger team, who we think is going to come out on top. So, Rob, without further ado, the first game that's going to be happening is the San Antonio Brahmas versus the Memphis Showboats. This game is happening on Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, noon Eastern time. Who do you think is going to come out on top in this one, Rob? How do you think it's all going to shape up?
Yeah, man, this is going to be one heck of a game. I mean, this is the number 2 team on our power rankings versus the number 3 team on our power rankings. So I think it's going to be really close. I think at the end of it, when you have 2 teams this evenly matched, that seem like they're just really skilled all across the board, the team that ends up winning is the team with the best quarterback. And to me right now, that is the Memphis Showboats with Case Cookus. So although I think the Brahmas are one of the best teams in the entire league, and I think Arbor's much better than I expected him to be. He'll really have a chance to prove himself by going up against arguably one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the entire league this weekend, Case Cookus, and dueling him. I think Case Cookus will probably be a much bigger challenge for the Brahmas defense than Garber will be for the Showboats defense. And I think Cookus will probably lead his team to a very close victory. But for me, the Showboats are probably going to win this game.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely go Showboats. Yeah. All right, moving on to the next game, we have the Arlington Renegades versus the St. Louis Battlehawks. This is going to be the Saturday evening game for this upcoming weekend at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This is going to be an interesting matchup. I think this is going to be a redemption game for both teams. I think both teams certainly came off of week 1 losses that, they probably didn't see coming in terms of how they played and a chance to really right some of these wrongs. I think, though, looking at this game, I think the Battlehawks are going to come out stronger. I think we're going to see a different team than the one that played against the Panthers. I think it's going to be much more gelled, and they're going to start to, assume the form of this team that we had been hyping up all off season as being the number 1 team. Obviously Pearson's not going to be back yet. So the Renegades and Rob, you don't have to worry about him yet, but I think that for the first matchup between the Battlehawks and the Renegades, I think that the Battlehawks will end up taking the prize.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree with that given the way the Renegades played this week. I will say their biggest weakness was against the run. They were okay against the pass, and the Battlehawks don't necessarily have the best run game. So maybe the game will be a little closer than people are expecting, but I still expect the Battlehawks for sure to come out on top. The next matchup we have is the Stallions versus the Michigan Panthers. I think the Stallions will win this one easily. I mean, in my opinion, they're the best team in the league, like we just talked about. The Panthers kind of maybe a little overrated after that very, very narrow win against the Battlehawks in week 1. They're just not a very good team. Whereas the Stallions are like loaded at a lot of different positions, and I think it'll be a quick and easy win for Birmingham.
Absolutely. I agree. I think the Panthers certainly were hyped up after that 64-yard field goal win against the Battlehawks. As we talked about before, there still is some holes offensively wise. I think the Stallions are going to be able to lock them down. I actually don't expect this match to be close. I think the Panthers defense is going to show up, but there's only so much your defense can do when they are on the field for probably most of the game. I think the Stallions are going to definitely have the majority of the possession. And as a result, I think they're going to come away with the win. Our last game to talk about is my boys, the Houston Roughnecks, against the DC Defenders. This game is going to be in DC, 4 p.m. on Sunday. And just for clarification, the Birmingham Stallions Panthers game is going to be the earlier day game on Sunday at noon Eastern time. But anyways, getting back into the Roughnecks Defenders, I'm actually going to go with my Roughnecks here. And I might be going out on a limb here by saying this, but I do think that out of both teams, the Roughnecks have the easiest time fixing their mistakes than how the Defenders played against the Brahmas in San Antonio. I think if the Roughnecks cut down those penalties and, for example, Mark Thompson comes back and Chris Odom comes back, Reuben Foster, he went down in that game in week 1. But thankfully, it was just a calf cramp. It was initially reported it was a calf sprain, just a calf cramp. He was perfectly fine after the game running around. So Reuben Foster's fine. I can only imagine what's going to happen if Odom comes back to that defense and Mark Thompson comes to rejuvenate this offense. So if that's the case, I think the Roughnecks could walk into DC and really spoil the defenders' chances at winning, especially reeling after a terrible loss to the Brahmas, which was kind of unforeseen. I think that the defenders will have a tough time kind of figuring out both sides of the ball and fixing it. Obviously, I think this game's going to be close. I think it's going to be really a defensive battle. Who can halt each other's offense the most? But I'm going to go with the Roughnecks because they have a better defense, and I think that Jarrett Guarantano can really be the guy that the Roughnecks need to lead a winning drive.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think a rejuvenated Roughnecks team would destroy the Defenders squad we saw last week. I think the Defenders' only chance of winning this game is if Tamu comes back and starts playing like he did last year, and their defense comes back and starts playing like they did last year. Short of a redemption from the Defenders and a restoration to what they were last year, I think the Roughnecks will beat them, and the Defenders will be at the number 8 spot in our power rankings next week. That's fully what I expect to happen. And those are our locks of the week here on the Redzone Rodeo, our buckle winner picks of the week, I should say.
Thank you for joining us on the Redzone Rodeo podcast.
If you like football and you like having fun, come on down and subscribe. Check out our channel for more videos like this one.
No ifs, ands, or buts. This is the best place for your football news.